If you are also looking for professional certified structural engineering services or courses, then don't forget to check link in description of this video.
Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial on CSI-COL, and in this tutorial we are going to do something new that we haven't done in our previous tutorials. We will be exploring something like auto design functionality, confinement functionality of CSI-COL, and then slenderness and so on. So there are many things, and the main purpose of this video is to see how the things work out. So let's start. We will be again using an example. I will be using an example to teach you the concept of CSI-COL. So let's start. So this is the problem that we are going to do today. So first we have to define our rectangular section of width 200 mm and depth 300 mm. So what I will do, I will go to my CSI-COL. Now I have used the predefined template of rectangular column, and currently it's of 900 by 600. So what I will do, I will change its dimension. I will go to under column 1 shape, then concrete rectangle 1, and in this I will make the width equals to 200 and I will make the height equal to 300. Okay, so I have made I have adjusted the dimensions. Now it's time to adjust the reinforcement. Okay, right now I'm just randomly putting the reinforcement, or it's just what it is right now in the model. We will just adjust it. Later on we will use the auto design function to get the actual reinforcement for our section. So wait for a while, to bring this reinforcement within the section. I will click on this reinforcement first. I click on this reinforcement, then in rebar pattern, rebar rectangle. So here make the dimension equals to again 300, height width 200, height 300. Okay, good to go. Now what I will do, let's go back to our problem. What does it say? It says that we have to define rectangular section of width 200 mm and depth 300 mm. That's what we have done earlier. Okay, then we have to use the auto design option in CSI-COL to estimate the number of rebars required against the loading defined in problem 1. So the problem, basically here the loading which was defined in problem 1, let me define that loading. But before coming to that, see, whenever you are given a section size and its reinforcement, so if I ask you, can you tell me that what maximum load it can carry in compression or tension, means what maximum axial load it can carry or what maximum bending moment it can carry? If I ask you, so will you be able to answer me this question or not? If I have given you the section size and I have given you the reinforcement of that section 2, so if I ask you, can you tell me the maximum axial load and maximum moment capacity? Yes, you can. You don't need to define loading. You just need to go where you need to go to results, click on interaction diagram. Now as you click on interaction diagram, what will happen for your section size and reinforcement? It will give you all those points for which you can design your column. So all those, basically you know this thing, that column is not designed for an individual response like axial or just movement. It is designed for the response of both movement and axial load. So if you want to design your column, you need to have both these, movement as well as P, axial load as well as movement. So this interaction diagram, basically what does it do? It gives you set of all those points which your column can safely take. The P and M value which your column can safely take with such type of reinforcement and size is given by interaction diagram. So all those points which are inside this interaction diagram, you can design your column for those loading and it will not fail. Now let's say I selected that I am going with the P value 700. So I will enter my 700 over here. Now it will the blow curve will tell me that this downward curve will tell me that if I take my PU is equal to 700, so what moment I can take with this. Okay, so with PU is equal to 700, I can take all the moment value which are inside this region. And at max, I can go with along X direction, I can maximum go with 63 kilonewton meter, not more than that. And in MY direction, that is M2, I can go only up to 43 kilonewton meter, not more than that. So I know this thing that if I take this load, if I am taking the PU load 700 kilonewton, so along X axis, I can take maximum moment as 62. I can take below that, but not greater than that. And along Y axis, I can take moment around 43 at max. Below that, I can take along Y axis, but not more than that. So this was the concept. Now, what I will be doing, let me define, right now, this was the concept of interaction diagram that I told you. Now I will be showing you the functionality of auto design, that how does this CSI-COL perform auto design. So what I will do, first I will, now for running this auto design command, you need to define your loading. Okay, so first what I will do, I will put such loading for which your column should fail. Okay, and I will show you how does auto design show you that the column is failing. So let me take axial load PU is equal to 4000 and MU along x-axis 400 at the top, as well as MU along y-axis 400 at the top, and at the bottom 300 along x, and bottom along y 300. Basically, you know, this MUY is your M2 and MUX is your M3. Okay, and I will basically I will first go to interaction diagram and I will pick such point which is falling beyond the interaction diagram, and I will put that loading, and I will show you that how does auto design functionality tells you that your column is failing. So let's go to the interaction diagram, and in interaction diagram, let me take P value is equal to 792. Okay, and 792. Okay, and for 792, for value of 700, let's take P value 700 and M2 value as M3 value as 80 and M2 value as 40. M3 value as M3 value is 100 and M2 value is also 100. Okay, so M3 mean MX, M2 mean MY. So what I will do, I will go to, so remember we have to take 700 PU and 100 moment, and the column will fail for this. I will show you. Basically, I'm deliberately doing this to show you how auto design function works. So I will go to again concrete rectangular and then loading. Where is my loading? Loading home. Then I go to loading, and in loading 700 axial load and M3, that is X 100 at the top and at the bottom, and MUY I can, let's say, take 50, even if it was failing in 50. Okay, take 80, and again bottom 80. Now with this loading, see your auto design will show the column does not the column cannot take such. Okay, and it will basically first play with the reinforcement and try to increase the reinforcement and see with increasing the reinforcement whether the column is able to take such load or not. And if increasing the reinforcement this is not possible, so it will fail and it will show you to increase the section size. Close, go to auto design. Now you need to define what smallest bar you can take. I need the smallest bar to be D20 and largest bar to be D32, and clear cover 40, clear spacing between the bars around 25, and maximum DC ratio I want to not go beyond 0.95, and not align bundle bar. Click on run. See, it shows failed. let me give the largest possible C to see whether it is passing or not. Failed again. So it means anyhow for such type of loading we need to increase we need to increase our section size. Now I will enter such points which are within the interaction diagram and will show you how the auto design show you pass. So I will go to results and I will go to interaction diagram, and in interaction diagram, let me for 700 pu again I take the M3 value as I can take maximum M3 value as 60 and M2 value as 40. So I'm taking 30. So I will do, I will go to concrete rectangular, and then in concrete rectangular home, and in home loading pu 700 and 30. Now for this loading you will see that your column will be pass and the C success. So that was the thing that I was aiming to show you. So this is how the auto design functionality work. Now the next thing is confinement. That's what we need to discuss today in this video. So you have this auto confinement functionality in CSI-COL, and you can basically use this. And another thing is if you want to define manually, so you can use this rectangular or circular function. Okay, now what I will do, I will click on this confinement rectangular. Now I need to select the stress strain curve, Mander, rectangular confine. I need to tell the dimensions of my confinement. Let's say I'm giving 50 mm cover on both sides, so my confinement width will be 200 is total, so 50 minus 100, and height would be how much? Height would be how much? Height would be around 50 minus 200. Okay, so I have defined this as my confinement, and now I want to bring this bars within this confinement. So what I will do, I will go to rebar pattern, and here I will make the concrete cover equals to 50. So see, they comes inside within your confinement. And now let's come back again to confinement, and I need to show you something. So basically now you need to tell the software basically what does you mean by confinement. When you say confinement, you need to means you are providing stirrups ties. Okay, so let's say if you have a such sort of section in which you have this your stirrups, then you have this one lateral ties as well. So now I will show you how you can define this. So let's say your stirrup is of number 10 dia bar, and the vertical spacing along the column is how much? 100 mm. And again this is also number 10 mm, and it's also spacing in 100 mm. Okay, it's along the column. So what I will do, how to define this thing in CSI-COL, that's the thing that mostly people don't know. So I will tell you that's the most important part of this video, so do pay attention. So first I will show you how you can define this lateral ties, this rectangular one. So go to CSI-COL, then in stress strain, tell the software what is your tie diameter along X. So as I told you that I will be using 10 mm dia, so keep it 10. Tie diameter along X mean this one dia. Let me show you. Tie diameter along X. So this is your tie, okay, along X. So what is its dia? Then tie diameter along Y. This is your tie along Y. So what is its dia? Usually they are same, always same. Okay, but software is asking us, so we keep 10 over here and 10 over here. Then what is the tie spacing along X? Means tie spacing along X. So this is your tie along X. What it is spacing? Its spacing is how much? If this is 50, this is 50, so how much we will be left with? 100. So I will enter 100 over here. Okay, basically there is some problem, let me correct it. And along Y, for along Y, here you can see this is total 200. So 200 divided by 2, this will be 100, this will be 100. So first let me give the tie diameter spacing along Y 100. Okay, and here also 100. Now see, it works fine. Okay, so and tie diameter along Y 10. Now this vertical spacing of ties mean along the height of the column, what is your tie spacing? So along the vertical spacing of tie, let's keep it again, let's keep it 100 or 150 mm, you can keep it. And then what is your total main steel area? Means this is your section. Okay, if this is your section, so you add this bar area, this bar area, this rebar area, this rebar area, this rebar area, this rebar area, and what you do, what you get your, what you say, total area. Now again I'm explaining that this, see how you place this StructuralEngineering information in CSI-COL. Tie spacing along X mean this one is spacing. Okay, this tie and this tie spacing. Tie spacing along Y mean this tie and this tie spacing. If I keep it right now, I've kept 100. So when I kept 100, so it means there is also confinement. There is also lateral tie. If I keep it 200, so it means there will not be the software will not consider any reinforcement over here. So it will consider just these two, because I have kept 100. So this is 100, this is 100, and for this is just 100 between these two. Okay, so that's, we have defined the confinement, how to define the confinement, and you can define your compressive strength. So confinement done. The next thing is, I think so, what's the thing remaining? Let's see, with this problem there's something that I can teach you. You can see the multiple curves results. Multiple curves you can see based on your compressive strength, how the capacity is increasing when increasing the compressive strength. And then guys, there is a how to check your column is sway or not. What you can do, you can go to your, again, loading. You have to consider slenderness effect. Then you have to define the framing. I will discuss the slenderness in a separate video, and I will be in which I will be giving you detailed explanation first, background of slenderness, and then I will be teaching you this functionality in CSI-COL. Otherwise you won't get it. So that's why just right now I'm giving you just surface overview in this video, but I will be making a separate detailed video on slenderness with CSI-COL, in which I will be first explaining the concept of slenderness, then coming to CSI-COL. So you can check whether your column is sway or not. You can define your framing. Let's say K is equal to 1, so pin. Okay, and then in loading, when you come to loading, you click on check sway. Now you need to enter there are 3 methods to check whether your column is sway or not. I choose stability index. Then you need to provide this information. It will tell you whether your column is sway or not. And if it's sway, so you can consider sway and then provide this loading. So we'll be discussing this, but in a separate video. So guys, that's all for this video, and the main purpose of this video was to make you guys aware of this interaction diagram, then confinement, and how does the auto design functionality works. I have already discussed in detail about this about these options in my video number 1. So if you haven't watched that, video number 2, so if you haven't watched that, so kindly watch that, and we'll meet you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.